Good morning to you, grade 9 learners. Welcome to our today's natural science lesson, proudly brought to you by the Housing Department of Education. My name is Milton Gomo. Let us look at the structure of our lesson. The knowledge area of our lesson is life and living. The topic of our lesson is body systems. Okay, body systems. And then the subtopic of our lesson, we're going to be looking at the circulatory and respiratory systems. So we're going to be looking at these two systems. That's our lesson. Okay, right. So let's go through the objectives of our lesson and find out what we should have achieved by the end of the lesson. Okay. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to, right, define the circulatory system. You're supposed to be able to define the circulatory system and then also be able to identify the parts and also state the function for each of them in the circulatory system. Okay, then you have to also discuss health issues that affect the circulatory system. Then from there, you should also be able to define the respiratory system and then identify the parts, or the parts that are part of the respiratory system, and then state the function for each of those parts. Okay, then finally you have to explain the health issues that affect the respiratory system. So these are the objectives of the day, right? And of course, the source of our lesson is CAPS document, page 59. Okay, so let's refer to that, right? With our objectives being analyzed, let's go through the pre-knowledge, okay? What we need to recall, okay? Grade 4, what we did in grade 4, the topic of living things, right? We have to recall the topic and all the information and the knowledge that we obtained from the lessons that we took under this topic of living things, right? Grade 4, let's recall that, all right? Then also in grade 5, let's recall the topic of life cycles, okay? If that covered under this topic, we need to recall. This is going to help us so that we understand today's lesson and be part of it, okay? Because we have to be part of the lesson so that we understand whatever is going to be discussed throughout the lesson, okay? Then finally look at, we have to recall what we did in grade 8, okay? Under the topic of respiration, okay? So we need to recall all the information that we covered under this topic of respiration that we did in grade 8. With that knowledge, we are going to be able to fit in a proper way, in today's lesson, and be able to be part of the lesson throughout, as well as to understand everything which is going to be discussed in our today's lesson. Okay, right. With our pre-knowledge, we can start off by answering the baseline activity. Right. So take out the activity books where you are. Right. We're going to start by doing the baseline activity. Remember to make sure that you write your work neatly and make sure that you produce correct answers for each of these questions. We've got 3 of them for our baseline activity. Right, number 1, it says, which gas do we breathe out? Okay, right. Then number 2, the gas we breathe in is, okay. Then just fill up the empty space there to complete the sentence. Okay, number 3, the organ that pumps blood in our bodies is the one. So complete statement. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes, which means it's a minute for each question. Okay, so 3 minutes, let's get started. Right, welcome back. I'm sure all of us managed to do this activity quite well, and we all finished to answer these questions. Okay, let's look at them one by one and check out your answers. Okay, remember that if you got any of these questions wrong, you have to write down the corrections. Okay, so take your activity book as we go through the activity together. Right, number one, which gas do we breathe out? And this one is carbon dioxide. That's carbon dioxide. Number two, the gas we breathe in is oxygen. So the gas that we breathe in is oxygen. All right. Right. So number three, the organ that pumps blood in our bodies is the heart. So these are the answers to our baseline activity. It was very simple and straightforward, and I'm sure that all of you managed to do this in a very correct way. Okay, with our baseline activity done, let's move on to look at the terminology of our lesson. What new terms do we have to know about? New vocabulary, new words that we have to know their meaning and to be able to use them right with understanding, right, all the time. Right, so let's look at the terms that we're supposed to know about, define them, their meaning, and also discuss and explain, right, their use. Okay, arteries. Okay, what are arteries? These are blood vessels transporting blood away from the heart. So arteries are these blood vessels which are responsible for transporting blood away from the heart. Okay, away from the heart. Next one, capillaries. These are the smallest blood vessels in the circulatory system. Okay, when we're going to look at the blood vessels, we're going to talk about these vessels in detail. Okay, right. Then we come to the veins. What are veins? These are blood vessels transporting blood towards the heart. Okay, so if you check these three, they're just the blood vessels that we have. Okay, first one being the arteries. They are the ones which transport blood away from the heart. Okay, then capillaries. They are the smallest blood vessels from all those three. Okay, then veins are the blood vessels that transport blood towards the heart. Okay, what else do we have in our terminology? Exhalation. Right, what is exhalation? This is the process of breathing out. Okay, when the gas exchange takes place. Okay, carbon dioxide is released right from our bodies. Okay, so during that time when we're exhaling, that is breathing out, that's when we take out carbon dioxide. Okay, then the next one, that is inhalation. Okay, what is inhalation? To inhale. Okay, that is to take in. In this case, we'll be breathing in. Okay, so this happens during a process of breathing in, where we take in oxygen. Right, go back to our baseline activity. We did mention that we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. So breathing in is this process called inhalation. All right, so that's what we have for our terminology, right? Note the terminology down so that you don't forget these terms. When you meet them throughout the lesson, know their meaning. Okay, you're going to enjoy the lesson. Okay, right, let's look at the lesson in detail. Okay, the first part of our lesson, that is the circulatory system. Okay, let's look at this system in detail. Okay, what we need to know about in this system, this circulatory system. All right, what's the function of this system? That's where we have to start. The function of this system, the circulatory system. All right, its function is to bring nutrients and oxygen to cells. Okay, to cells. Okay, and then it removes waste products. Right, so it's a very, very important system. Okay, it's the one which brings in nutrients and oxygen to all the body cells. Okay, remember that our body cells need to have enough nutrients. Okay, need to have enough oxygen, so that all those life processes which take part in our bodies are going to be carried out effectively. Okay, right? So this system is very, very important. Right? What does it do? Okay, it carries waste away from all body cells. Okay, number one, it says that, right, this system is the one which brings nutrients to the body cells. Okay, then now the same system is the one which removes the waste from the body cells, right? From the body cells. Remember that our body cells, you have to what? Make sure that they function properly, and remember that our bodies need to stay healthy, and all those metabolic reactions and all the life processes which take part in our bodies, okay, they should what? Should happen effectively. So we don't need this waste in the cells to cause a malfunctioning of our bodies. Okay, right. So now, e.g., ammonia and carbon dioxide. These are some of the wastes which are taken out from the what? Our body cells by this system, which is the circulatory system. All right. Right, there is a system in detail, right, in the form of a diagram. This circulatory system, we're talking about a system which has got the what? The blood vessels, right? The heart. Okay, so we're going to be looking at each of these components one by one. Right, that's the function. Okay, as we go into this system, look at its main processes. What main processes take place in this system? Okay, right, the circulatory system. The main processes include, right, one, circulating blood between the heart and the lungs, right? Remember that when it comes to this system, we have to know that it has to do with the heart, okay, and also what? The lungs. These are the two main organs which are involved in this system, okay, right? So it circulates blood between the heart and the lungs. Okay, that's the first main process. Okay, what's the second one? Circulating blood between the heart and the rest of the body. Remember that the body has to receive, right, enough supply of blood and oxygen throughout, okay, all the body cells, right, all the body parts, all the organs should receive enough supply of oxygen, should receive enough supply of blood, so that our bodies can function well and our bodies can grow healthy. All right, so this system is the one which does all these functions so that our bodies will remain healthy. All right, so those are the main processes. Okay, now we look at the main components of this system. Right, we've got the heart, right? The function of the heart, main function of the heart is to what? Pump blood. It's the one which pumps blood, right, throughout our body, okay, our body parts, throughout our body cells. Okay, so our body should receive enough supply of blood, and for that to happen, our hearts should be able to what? To function properly, so that they pump enough blood to all of our body parts. Okay, so the main component, the first one we just mentioned, the heart, and the function of the heart is to pump the blood throughout our bodies. Okay, the other component of this system, the blood vessels. There's no way the heart can be able to pump blood to all the body parts when the blood vessels are not present. Okay, we need to have the blood vessels which are going to be receiving, right, the blood from the heart and taking back the blood from the rest of the body to the heart. Okay, so we need the blood vessels. Okay, what are these ones? These are conduits through which blood flows. Through which blood what? Flows. Okay, right. Then now, finally, we talk of what? The blood is the other main component of the circulatory system, right? This is a substance which carries the materials being transported, all the dissolved substances which are supposed to be delivered to all the body parts are carried, right, with the blood. We are carried through the blood, okay? They're carried by the blood so that they reach all the what? The body cells, okay? So the blood is the one which carries all these dissolved soluble substances that are needed by our body so that our body, so that we can what? We can carry out all of the life processes effectively, right? So these are the main components: the heart, blood vessels, and the blood. Okay, shown on the diagram, we have got a diagram showing the types of what? Blood vessels. We've got the veins. We'll talk about these in detail, okay? But for the arteries as well. And then, of course, the heart is being shown there, right? There is the heart, okay? There is the heart, there is the heart, there is the heart, right? Okay? On the left there, if you want to feel the heart, your heart there pumping, you can just feel it there, right on the left, okay, just next to your chest there, right. Then you've got what you can feel, right, your heart pumping, all right. That's the organ which pumps the blood, okay, to all the body parts, right. Now we move on and look at the heart, okay, in detail, right. Okay, now what we have there, we've got a diagram showing what? The heart, okay, right, and all its what? Its parts, right, well leveled. As we talk about these parts throughout, at least you'll be knowing what you are talking about and where they are positioned and the function of each of all those parts which are found in our hearts, okay. Where is it located? It's located near the center of the chest. Right, that's where your heart is located, okay? Near the center of the what? Of the chest. Right, what else do you need to know about the heart? The heart has 4 chambers. Let's look at them in detail. These 4 chambers, right? We've got what are called atria, okay? These are 2 upper chambers, right? We've got the left atrium, there it is shown there, that's the left atrium, okay? Remember, atria is the plural, okay? So for singular, it is just atria, okay? Atria, okay? Then now, when we talk about 2 of those, we say these are atria, right? So just say that the heart has got 4 chambers. The first 2 chambers are the atria, right? And these atria are the what? The left atrium and the right atrium, right? The left atrium shown there and the right what? Atrium, okay? As you can see from that image that you have of the heart, right? Then now, what's the function of these? Okay, they are the ones which receive blood. They are the ones which receive what? Blood. Okay, then I've got ventricles. Okay, these are 2 lower chambers. Okay, they are called ventricles, right? Now, what do? They are the ones which what? Pump blood. Okay, let's look at those ventricles. Where are they? Right, we have got the left ventricle and the right ventricle. Right, if I count them, they make up to 4. These chambers, we've got left ventricle and right ventricle, that's 2. Left atrium and right atrium, another 2. And those 2 they give us what? 4. Okay, that's what we need to know about the heart. Right, let's look at the first activity. That's activity number 1, right? I've got 2 questions for you in this activity. Number 1 says, state the 3 main components of the circulatory system. Right, number 2, how many chambers does the heart have? Then what do you do? Remember them, okay? Right, so we're going to go again for another 3 minutes. Then this time around, I'm quite sure that we're all going to get this activity correctly, okay? 3 minutes, let's get busy. Right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Right, that's our activity number one. Right, we had two questions for this activity. Number one says, state the three main components of the circulatory system. Number two, how many chambers does the heart have? Then name them. Okay, you name them. Right, let's look at the activity. Right, number one, state the three main components of the circulatory system, and these are the heart, blood vessels, and the blood. Okay, the heart, blood vessels, and the blood. Right, so I'm sure you're able to come up with the correct answer for this question. Let's go to number two. How many chambers does the heart have? Right, and to name them, right, the heart is got 4 chambers, and these are the 2 atria and the 2 ventricles. Okay, the 2 atria and the 2 ventricles. Remember that from the atria there, we've got what? The left. Okay, atrium, and the what? The right. What? Atrium. Okay, so those are the 2 atria that we have. Then coming to the ventricles, you also have got the left what? Ventricle, as well as the right what? Ventricle. Right ventricle. So that's what we have there. Right. So what we have got together, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 chambers. Right. So the heart has got 4 chambers. Right. That's our activity. Right. Make sure that you write all those corrections. Right. And for those who manage to come up with the correct answers, keep it up. Keep it up. That's good. Right. Let's move on. We look now at the blood vessels. The blood vessels. Right. We've got 3 types of blood vessels. Okay. We've got 3 types of blood vessels. Right. And these are the arteries. Okay. We've got the what? The veins. And finally, we've got the capillaries. Okay. So the arteries, veins, and capillaries. These are the 3 types of blood vessels that we have. Remember, we say that the blood vessels are these corridors that the blood flows through. Okay, so we've got 3 types of these, and these are the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. So we're going to be looking at these one by one in detail. Okay, find out everything we need to know about each of them. Right, shown on the diagram there, we've got the veins. Okay, that are shown in a blue color there. Right. Then we've got the arteries, which are shown in a red color. Then, of course, the heart is shown there in the diagram. Remember, the heart is one of the main organs that are part of the circulatory system. It is the one which pumps the blood throughout. So, if we don't have the heart, there's no way we can talk about this system. Right. Now, having those 3 types of blood vessels, let's look at them one by one in detail, right? The first one, we're going to look at what? The arteries. The arteries. Right, these ones are the ones which carry blood away from the heart, okay? They carry blood away from the heart, okay? From the heart. Where to? To all the body what? To all the body parts. Remember that our bodies need to have enough supply of blood, okay? And our body cells need to have enough supply of blood, right? So now it is the responsibility of these blood vessels called the arteries to make sure that they deliver, right, the blood to all the body cells from the heart, okay? So their function is to carry blood away from the heart, okay? And they take it to all the body parts, okay? Right. What else do you need to know about the arteries, okay? Except for the pulmonary arteries, okay? All arteries carry what? Oxygenated blood, okay? What do you mean by that, okay? The blood that the arteries, okay, carry from the heart and supplied to all the body parts is called oxygen, okay? It's called oxygen. That's why this blood it has to pass through the what? The lungs, okay? From the heart, it passes through the lungs, okay? So that in the lungs there, it is what? It is supplied with what? With oxygen. Then from the lungs, that's when it is delivered to the rest of the body parts, okay? Because remember that our body cells need to have enough supply of blood and also enough supply of what? Oxygen, right? Therefore, the arteries make sure that the blood which goes to all the body parts is got what? Is got oxygen, right? We say such blood is oxygenated, okay? Oxygenated, meaning it contains what? Oxygen, right? Now, so we're simply saying that all these arteries carry what? Carry the oxygenated what? Blood, except for the pulmonary what? Arteries. These ones do not carry oxygenated what? Blood. All right. What else do you need to cover under these arteries? They've got a thick wall, right? That help them to withstand pressure produced when the heart contracts and pushes blood. Remember that the blood which is supplied to all the body parts, right, is having what? It's under what? A high pressure, okay? It's under high pressure. So it has to be pumped to all the body parts. Therefore, it is pumped under what? A high pressure. Therefore, the arteries have been designed in such a way that their holes are thick so that they can withstand whatever high pressure that is supplied by the what? By the heart as it's contracting and it's pushing the blood. Okay, so the arteries have got thick walls, right? The arteries walls contain connective tissues, right? Smooth muscles, right? And endothelium. Okay, so that's how these arteries are designed so that they can what? They can withstand the high pressure. They can also be able to what? To hold, right, the blood whenever the heart is pushing and contracting, right? So those are the arteries we're talking about, and shown in the diagram there, we've got those three blood vessels all shown, okay? We've got the arteries shown on the red mark, okay? That one's just simple illustrating that the arteries carry what? Oxygenated what? Blood. Yes, that red color there, right? Then we come to the veins, right, which are marked in blue color there. The veins do not carry what? Oxygenated blood. We're going to be looking at them just now. All right, then we've got what? The capillaries. As you can see, the capillaries are the ones which connect the what? The arteries and the veins. So we're going to be looking at that as we speak about what? The capillaries. Right, so that's the arteries. Let's go to the veins. Okay, what do the veins do? Right, the veins carry blood towards the heart. Okay, the veins carry blood towards the heart. Okay, that's the function of the veins. And then the veins carry what is called deoxygenated blood, meaning to say that the blood that the veins carry do not have oxygen. Therefore, it has to be taken back to the lungs so that it can be what? It can get what? Enough oxygen there before it is taken back to the body through the arteries. So the veins do not carry blood with the oxygen, right? Their walls contain connective tissue and smooth muscle, right? The valves in vein are there to keep to prevent the what? The backflow of what? Of blood. Okay, so the veins have got valves, right, to keep blood moving towards the heart. Okay, towards the heart. Main veins are located near the skeletal muscles. Okay, then contractions help push the blood through the veins. Right, shown in the diagram, we have got those two blood vessels shown. That is the artery and the vein. Right, you can take a look at this diagram. You can see that only the veins have got what? The valves. Right, they are the valves that are shown there. Okay, what's happening there? Once the blood is moving, right, through the veins, moving towards what? Towards the heart. Okay, this blood is under no pressure, right? Therefore, it's easy for it to backflow, right? Hence, we've got the veins. veins, right? Which prevent the what? The backflow of what? Of blood. What happens? Once the blood is passing through the veins, those valves will close, right? And then now those that the blood is to pass through will open, so that there's no way the blood flowing through the veins will what? Start to backflow, right? So that's the function of the veins. Okay, we come to capillaries, right? The capillaries, these connect arteries and veins, and there we are. We can see those capillaries. They connect what? The arteries and what? And the veins, right? Where do they connect them? The arteries are branching, right, to smaller vessels which are called arterioles. Okay. Also, the same with the veins will branch into small capillaries called the venules, right? Therefore, the capillaries connect, right, the arteries and veins through the what? Arterioles and the venules. That's where we've got the capillaries, okay? So these are the ones which connect arteries and veins. They are the smallest of all these three types of blood vessels. The capillaries are the smallest of them all, right? Their walls are only 1 cell thick, okay? They are very narrow, okay? The blood cells must pass through in a single file, okay? That's where the gases are passed, okay? To the tissues or from the tissues. So this is where the gases are passed, okay? To the tissues and from the tissues, right? So the capillaries are the ones which ensure that to take place, right? We come to activity number 2, right? We're going to have 5 minutes for this activity, right? Now, number 1 says, name the 3 types of blood vessels, right? Number 2, which blood vessels carry blood away from the heart? Okay, number 3, which blood vessels carry blood towards the heart? All right, so 5 minutes for this, then we look at the corrections. Let's get busy. Right, welcome back. I'm sure you also managed to do this activity correctly. We put 3 questions for this activity. Number 1 says, name the 3 types of blood vessels. Right, let's look at the answers to that. We put arteries, we put veins, and capillaries. So those are the 3 types of blood vessels. Right, number 2, which blood vessels carry blood away from the heart? And these are the arteries. They're the ones which take the blood away from the heart and supply it to all the body parts. Okay. Number 3, which blood vessels carry blood towards the heart? And these are the veins. So these are the answers to our activity number 2. Right? Remember to make sure that you note down those corrections. Okay. And also keep communicating with us through our WhatsApp number, that's 079 578 2908. Be sending all your work, all the comments, all the questions, so that we're able to interact with you. All right, let's move on. Let's look at the blood. Okay, human blood, okay, is about 4 to 6 liters, okay, which is 8% of total mass of the body. Right. It consists of solids and liquids, okay? And it's got what? The following: the red blood cells, the white blood cells, the platelets, and the plasma, okay? Of which 55% of the volume of blood is a straw-colored fluid, which is called the plasma. So these are the components of the blood. All right, let's look at these components in detail. We start off by looking at the plasma, right? The plasma, right? It is about 90% water, okay? About 90% water, right? 10% is dissolved gases, salts, nutrients, enzymes, hormones, waste products, and plasma proteins. All right. Plasma proteins divide into 3 groups. Okay, let's look at how those dividends you've got the percentages. Okay, you've got plasma, that's 55%, right? 5%. But what about the blood, right? The components of the blood, right? The white blood cells and the platelets make up 1% of the blood, and red blood cells make up 45% of the what? Of the blood. So all these will add up to 100%. So that's a plasma. We come to red blood cells, right? These are the most numerous cells in the blood, right? Meaning to say that they are the ones which have got a high number, right? So those are the red blood cells. What do? They transport oxygen, okay? They transport oxygen, right? They get their color from what's called hemoglobin, okay? That's the one which gives the red color to these blood cells, hence the name red blood cells, okay? What is hemoglobin? This one is an iron-containing protein that binds with what? With oxygen. Right, they are shaped like round plates which are indented at the center, okay? Now let's come to the white blood cells. These are produced from cells in bone marrow, okay? They fight diseases by finding pathogens and destroying them. So we all normally refer these cells to immune cells. They are the ones which fight for immunity, okay? They make sure that our immunity is safe, right? They may live for days, months, or even years, okay? Those are the white blood cells shown in the diagram, okay? Now let's look at the diseases of the circulatory system, right? These diseases are called the cardiovascular diseases, right? We talk about the heart diseases and stroke, right? And these are the leading causes of death and disability. So the heart diseases are really so deadly. They're so deadly, right? Let's just try to look at them in detail, one by one, and find out more about these diseases so that you are also able to make a follow-up on your health, right? Any symptoms might find out, just go for medical checkup and seek medical attention, right? High what? Blood pressure. The first one, we're going to look at high blood pressure. we refer this as hypertension, right? It forces the heart to work harder. It may weaken or damage the heart, the muscle, and the blood vessels, right? More likely to develop coronary heart disease, okay? It increases the risk of heart attack or stroke, okay? Right, we look at what is called atherosclerosis, okay? This one is a disease whereby the fat deposits called plaque build up on the inner walls of arteries, okay? Blocked artery can die from lack of oxygen. All right, if enough heart mass is damaged, this will lead to what is called heart attack. I'm sure if you heard about this, experience that, or you've seen maybe your relatives or your friends going through this serious heart condition whereby the person will suffer from what? Heart attack, right? And this might even cause the person to suffer an instant death. So it's very important to know about these diseases and their symptoms, and also make a follow-up on your health. Frequently visit what? The hospitals or clinic or doctors for medical checkups that you are safe. Right. Then we look at also the heart disease. It happens when there's narrowing of blood vessels around the heart, which can lead to a heart attack. The symptoms for heart attack include nausea, shortness of breath, and severe crushing, chest pain, okay? The blood clots can form as a result of atherosclerosis. We can travel to the brain and cause stroke, right? Brain cells die from lack of oxygen, and brain function in that region may be lost. So it's very important to make sure that you are safe and know about health condition and frequently go for checkups so that you are safe from these heart diseases. Okay, right. We now come to the respiratory system. Okay, remember our lesson is about the circulatory system and the respiratory system. What is the function of the respiratory system? It is responsible for supplying oxygen to the body and for removing carbon dioxide. Okay, the structure of the respiratory system. The main components include the nose, the mouth, the trachea, and the lungs. Let's get our diagram. Let's find out these main components are positioned. Right, we've got the trachea. There is the trachea. Right, what else do we have? There is the what? The nose. At the top there for the nostril, right, and the nasal cavity. Right. Then of course the oral cavity. That's where for the mouth, right, and the lungs. Okay, we've got the left lung and the what? The right lung. Okay, so all those are the components of the respiratory system. What diseases are associated with the respiratory system? We've got tuberculosis, right? We normally refer this as what? TB, right? I'm sure we have gone through such situations where maybe one of our friends or relatives is suffering from this disease called tuberculosis, right? It is a bacterial disease, which means it is caused by what? A bacteria, right? We've got lung cancer. The lung cancer is another disease that is associated with the what? Respiratory system. And then we've got the asthma, right? So all those are the diseases which are associated with the what? Respiratory system, right? The tuberculosis, in this case, will be having the bacteria, which is called the mycobacteria, affecting our infecting what? Our lungs, okay? Then we're going to be having difficulty in breathing, right? Then we start coughing, and then our lungs get damaged, right? We also have the what? The lung cancer, right? And now, as you can see, when we've got a normal lung, right, that's the what? The muscles should be shown that way. So our blood vessels there, in that when the lung is normal, which means if it's not infected with the lung cancer, right, our lung should have the what? The clear blood vessels, right, and the air space is there, and the passageways will be clear without any blockages or the disturbances there. Right, as you can see that the airway is just clear there, right? But once the person is suffering from lung cancer, right, the airway there becomes what? Blocked, right? And then mucus get formed there, and the person without suffering from what's called lung cancer. Right. Activity number 3, right? Do this one in 2 minutes, right? It's just a minute for each question, right? Number 1 says state any 2 components of the respiratory system. Number 2, what is the function of the respiratory system? Right. 2 minutes. Let's do this activity. Right, our time's up. Let's look at our activity and go through the answers as we write down the corrections for those who don't get the questions correct. Number 1, stating 2 components of the respiratory system. Right. So in this case, can you choose from the list for the nose, trachea, the lungs, and the mouth. Okay. Right. Number 2, what's the function of the respiratory system? Okay. To supply oxygen to the body and removing carbon dioxide. Okay, that's our activity, the last activity. Now, let's summarize our lesson. Okay, right, spoke about the heart, right? We say that the heart functions as 2 separate pumps. Okay, it's 2 separate pumps. Which are these pumps? For the right side, okay, that pumps blood from the heart to the lungs. Okay, it pumps blood from the heart to the what? To the lungs. Okay, then we've got the what? Now in the lungs, what happens? Carbon dioxide leaves the blood and oxygen is what? Absorbed. This happens in the what? In the lungs, right? Then now we've got the left side, which pumps blood from the heart to the rest of the body, and we prefer this as the systemic circulation, right? And the one that we talked about, the right side pump, is the one referred to as the pulmonary circulation. So you've got pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation, right? So now on the left side, that's when we've got the blood which is pumped from the heart to the rest of the body. And now shown in the diagram, we have got the heart, right, showing all those 4 chambers that we spoke about. That is the 2 atria, that is the left atrium, and the what? And the right atrium. We spoke about the ventricles as well. We've got 2 of them. That is the left ventricle and the right ventricle. So all those make up the what? The structure of the heart, right? Remember we spoke about what? The arteries. And we say that the arteries are the ones which what? Which pump blood, right? to the body, right? Away from the what? From the heart. Okay? Then we spoke about what? The veins. Veins are the ones which pump the blood from the body and they pump it to the heart. So we spoke about these blood vessels, right? What to say about blood vessels? We said we've got 3 of them. The other one being what? Capillaries. Capillaries. So we've got 3 blood vessels. That is the arteries, veins, and the capillaries. Okay? The capillaries are the ones which connect what? The veins to arteries. Okay? Remember what we said again? We said the blood that the arteries supply to the body, okay, is under high pressure. Okay? Therefore, arteries have got what? A thick wall, okay, to withstand the high pressure, and the blood that the veins carry is under low pressure, right? Therefore, that's why we've got the valves within the veins which prevent the what? The backflow of what? Of blood, so that the blood will continue to move to the heart, okay? And the valves are the ones which help that process to take place, okay, effectively. Right. Now we've got our homework. 2 questions for our homework. Number 1 says, what's the process of breaking down food molecules into soluble substances? Number 2, state and 3 components of the digestive system. 1 minute as you copy that homework. Remember to communicate with us through our WhatsApp number 379-578-2908. Okay. In our next lesson, we're going to be looking at what is called the digestive system. We're going to be specifically looking at the healthy diet. Alright, so go make a research, find out more about this system. When we meet next time, we all having a clear picture of our lesson, and we're all going to be part of the lesson. Alright, I hope we all found this lesson quite interesting and very informative. Let's meet again next time. Thank you so much.